Hello there, I'm Sara Wagner, the co-founder of Sommly, your go-to digital marketplace for exceptional limited production wines that are rarely found in stores. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you to 4 exquisite limited production wines generously provided to us by Becker Vineyards. So if you haven't heard of Becker Vineyards, let me paint a picture for you. Nestled in the scenic Texas Hill Country, Becker Vineyards is a charming winery situated in Stonewall, Texas, a mere stone's throw away from Fredericksburg, and about an hour's journey from Austin. Established in the early 1990s, Becker Vineyards is the brainchild of pioneers who, with passion and tenacity, planted their first vines in 1992. 3 years later, they celebrated their first harvest. Fast forward to today, they now cultivate 56 stunning acres of their vine-clad estate. Not only that, but they also source grapes from around the great state of Texas. And so this strategy enables them to produce a staggering volume of over 100,000 cases of fine Texas wine each year. So now let's get to the exciting part. Becker Vineyards has graced us with 4 of their unique wines for us to review. We'll be indulging in their bright 2021 Viognier Reserve, the elegant 2019 Chardonnay Reserve, refreshing 2021 Provencal Rose, and finally the robust 2020 Tempranillo Reserve. So grab your glass, sit back, and join me on this aromatic journey as we delve into the world of Becker Vineyards.
I'm Erik, the other co-founder of Sommly. I have the pleasure of introducing you to our first wine, Becker's 2021 Viognier Reserve. Viognier is a French varietal, often called the red wine drinkers white wine because it's full-bodied and highly complex. This particular wine has been in barrel for 10 months in 95% French oak barrels. 70% of those barrels were new, so you taste a decent amount of oak on that. The other 5% of the wine was aged in stainless steel. Interestingly enough, the grapes come from 4 different vineyards: Farmhouse Vineyards, Bingham Family Vineyards, Six Heart Vineyards, and DeMonte Doble Vineyards. All 4 are located in the high plains of Texas, and 95% of the grapes were Viognier and 5% were Roussanne grapes. On the nose, I get a lot of citrus, especially Meyer's lemon. I also get a bouquet of white flowers. I think honeysuckle is most prominent. On the palate, this reminds me of a delicious lemon tart. It's acidic, yes, but there are some vanilla notes that kind of mellow it out. I also get some stone fruit. Specifically, I taste some underripe Texas peach and apricot notes. I think this is an excellent wine that's highly versatile. I think it would pair great with Thai food, some good spice, some French cheeses, and possibly some seafood as well. Cheers.
The next wine that I'm delighted to share today is the 2019 vintage Chardonnay Reserve, a particularly special wine that represents the fruits of a 20-plus year relationship between Becker Vineyards and Talent Vineyards. So the 2019 vintage boasts accolades including a spot on VinePair's 30 Best Chardonnays of 2023, earning 94 points, a double gold medal from the 2022 Lone Star International Wine Competition, and recognition as one of the state's best, showcased as a blue ribbon wine at the 2022 State Fair of Texas Wine Garden. So the talented Drew Talent of Mason County chose this particular Burgundian clone for its flavor profile and tenacity to ripen well in the Texas sun. 100% of the fruit is from Talent Vineyards. So both primary and malolactic fermentation took place in French oak, where it matured gracefully for 20 months in 30% new barrels, including some time with natural yeast, which results in a wine that's balanced, silky, and subtly oaked, with just a touch of brioche. All these winemaking practices contribute to its rich color, which, as you can see, is deep yellow and almost gold. So it was bottled in April of 2021, and we're lucky enough to have our hands on one of a very limited quantity that's still available. On the nose, I get a lot of citrus, especially lemon, and some ripe pear, a little bit of pineapple, and some clove. There's rich complexity, and in the absence of any overwhelming buttery malolactic aromas. And on the palate, it reminds me of a lemon meringue pie, with the zesty acidity totally balanced by light vanilla and some toasted pie crust. I also get that pineapple again, which lingers refreshingly on the finish. It's a super enjoyable wine on its own, and it can be effortlessly complemented with shellfish, grilled white fish, maybe with lemon capers, or pepper roasted chicken. Y'all, I cannot wait to introduce the next wine, Becker's 2021 Provencal Rose. This particular offering is a synergistic blend of Mourvedre, Cinsault, Counois, and Tempranillo, and in that order. These 4 varietals are largely found in southern France and in Spain, and we've learned over the years they often thrive in many Texas microclimates and soil types, which is great news for us. So as you might see, this wine is a pale salmon in color, and it's reminiscent of a French Provence style rosé, my personal favorite, and a style that is perfect for a hot Texas summer. The winemaker utilized white wine fermentation techniques on red grapes and limited the skin contact to achieve the pale color and light body. And it was also cold fermented and aged in stainless steel, which is a technique that helps retain the aromatics, which are beautiful in this wine, by the way. The fruit was sourced primarily from farmhouse vineyards in the Texas High Plains AVA, with about 7% sourced from Talent Vineyards in Mason County, Texas. On the nose, I get bright and vibrant florals such as peony and hibiscus. I get bright red fruit and a little bit of citrus. And on the palate, it reminds me of a fresh fruit strawberry ice pop. It's totally dry, so you're not picking up on any residual sugar, and it's perfectly balanced with some light tartness and grapefruit notes, as well as some other red fruits like raspberry and even fresh cherry. And finally, there's just a tad of minerality. So it's another beautiful wine that is highly versatile. I think that this would pair really well with anything from like a hearty cheese and charcuterie board to grilled veggies, or even chips and guacamole. In fact, there's actually not much I wouldn't pair with this one because it really has enough complexity as well as acid to complement even spicy food. You could also just enjoy it by the pool, but watch out, it's a little bit over 14% ABV. Cheers.
Next up, we have Becker's Tempranillo Reserve from 2020. Tempranillo has long been a favorite Texas wine of mine, and this one does not disappoint. To those who are not familiar with Tempranillo, this grape varietal is most commonly associated with the Rioja region of Spain. It's often fairly heavily oaked and ages wonderfully. This wine was aged for 18 months in 90% American oak barrels, 56% of which were new oak. The remaining 10% was aged in neutral French oak. This leads to a wine that has an oaky aroma, but it's not overpowering. This wine is 88% Tempranillo, 7% Mourvedre, and 5% Tannat. The grapes come from 3 different vineyards: farmhouse vineyards, ready vineyards, and talent vineyards. I describe this wine as garnet in color. On the nose, I immediately get the smell of new American oak. I get some spicy notes of black pepper, as well as notes of tobacco and leather. Finally, there's a hint of pyrazines, which are most commonly associated with green bell peppers. On the palate, the oak is very mellow. If you're like me and you don't want your wine to taste like you're chewing on a piece of wood, that's a positive. This wine tastes fresh, it's full of juicy red fruit flavors, it has a medium body, medium tannins, and medium high acidity. I detect notes of Bing cherries, red currants, and raspberries. While this wine is drinking nicely today, I think it would improve with a few years of aging if you have the self-control to lay it down. Pairing wise, I believe this wine would pair well with your traditional Spanish tapas, such as some spinach and cheese croquettes, some pan-fried padron peppers, Iberian cheeses, or maybe some Third Coast Tex-Mex. Salute.
So what makes Sommly different? Most wineries do not sell their best wines in retail or e-tail like wine.com because the traditional distribution model makes selling through those channels in the 3-tier system too costly. So Sommly is a valuable channel for wineries, and it facilitates their connection with discerning wine lovers like you. And today I'm thrilled to share that we boast the largest selection of Texas wines you can find online.